Hey, you tourists. It's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Basic. But before I'm going to wrap this up, I'm going to show y'all something. Not after wrap this up, man, after we getting started, I'm going to show y'all something. Hold on for a second. This is what I want to show you. I know it's June the 10th, man, the Freedom's Day. I'm going to say something I'm going to regret. And believe me, I'm doing it for the heart. I'm not doing it for trying to put everyone down. I'm not putting down blacks. I'm not putting down anyone or white or anybody. It's just I'm standing to stand by what I speak, the how what it needs to be said, that need to be the truth. What bothers me where I start to look around in my neighborhood and I start to see some of us are just lost, man. And the reason why I say that is because it's sad what happened, what goes on this George Floyd situation. I understand. People are still traumatized behind that. But what I'm saying is do not play with these people's hands because they expect you to go out there and tear up your own community, tearing up your neighborhood, tearing up your streets. But if you're going to tear up somebody, guess what? Now you tearing up your communities. They're afraid you gonna might tear up theirs, and they ain't gonna let you tear up theirs. But they don't care if you tear up your community. But we're not the ones riot, which I understand that. It was whites, Asian, and Latinos. I don't understand them why they riot because I don't see them being attacked by the cops, and I'm not saying they don't. They do. Don't get me wrong. They don't put in the media. But what's the point doing all that? We didn't ask other races to tear up our communities and other people. And this goes out to anybody. As long as a peaceful protest, that's fine. But if it was a violent protest, that's a whole different story. That's like hell coming on this earth. And these elites wanted this. They want to see people destroyed and not giving people a better, a better, a better chance to develop themselves a better life. We better wake up and understand that there's a reason why these things are going on. If you don't believe me, let's look at June the 10th. Here it is. What is, I mean, even though it's Friday, June the 19th, June the 10th is a national holiday. What is June the 10th is a national holiday? June the 10th, also known as the Freedom Day and Java Levy Day, the Liberation Day, or the Black 4th of July. July, get it? That's on the 4th of July on the way. It's a American holiday that's commemorated the June the 19th, 1865. You see they bring up the date 1865. That's the day when Abraham Lincoln was not only assassinated, that's the day when the Ku Klux Klan will start the development of that date. Texas was the most remote of the slave state, which it is, and this is the part I hate about my look. I love Texas, but there's a dark history about Texas because a lot of racism going on here, and the sundown town, and the shit goes on. What if I tell you that our government profitized this and got people to participate this stuff? So who's the fool now? They use poor white people to go against the poor blacks. But why not going at the rich blacks and rich whites? Something is wrong here. Or it's just me. And I'm not advocating violence. But you're trying to use not only against whites, but especially blacks. To get black people to mad at white people and get white people to mad at blacks. This is a setup. This is what it is. The men occupation the men occupation pro and aim claimants of January the first, 1830, January the first, 1863 was not enforced until after the Civil War had ended. That whole Civil War thing, it was based about between the North and the South. And you know who profited those two wars? The Rothschild. They fund that war. They fund the war because there was a quote of John D. Rockefeller. There was a quote of Rothschild saying that he controlled the British and the French. That's what that was about. I'm trying to find who this man is, but he said that. He said that. He said it, quote, the Rothschild family. They one of the most wealthiest families. And they're all syndicated by Jerusalem. I don't know what part, but some of the syndications from the Knight Templars. We're going to talk about the Knight Templars in a minute because we need to talk about this group. We need to talk about this group. I'm trying to find, Menelik and Adolf Rothschild. It's this man right here. He made a quote saying he controlled Britain, money, and controlled France money. So you know who's funded this stuff. And he was the father of he was the father of international finance, which he was. The 12 most influential people in the world or something like that. This guy made a quote saying, and I'm going to find it. If I find this quote, if I can find this quote, what he was saying, how he controlled the money. He said he controlled the British money and the French money. He really said that. The British money and the French money. Yeah. And what do you think those wars was all about? Those wars was used to fund. Yeah, there it is. This is what he said. This is what he said out of his own quote. He said this. I do not care what. He said, I care not what the puppet is, the place upward the throne of England to rule the empire, on which the sun never set. The men who control British money supply control the British empire, and I control the British money supply. So he controlled not only the British, he controlled the French and everything else. This guy really said that. He said, I care not what the puppet is replaced upward the throne of England to rule the empire, on which the sun never set. The men who control British money supply control the British empire, and I control the British money supply. Not of it, Rothschild. It was another Rothschild, not the first one, but this one, not of it. Ned Rothschild. Ned Rothschild. He controlled two different organized wars that was set up to make Europe to be the most funded, wealthiest continent out there. And I'm gonna tell you something. None of us don't even know much about it. Let's talk about June 10th because that's really important. And I'm going to say something that people ain't going to like too much. And I'm going to catch a lot of flack. They're going to say, well, you don't know about your history. No, what it is, I don't know about the history of lies. That's all it is. That just go by what say and that say. No one knows what the actual event really happened. No one knows about that but anybody that was there at the time. The June 10th, a productive of June in the 19th, also known as a Freedom Day, the Jubilee Day, the Liberation Day, and the Emancipation Day. It is a holiday celebrate the emancipation for those who has been enslaved in the United States. The origin in Texas. Why Texas? Because Texas, that's when the British states, basically the 13 colonies, they control people of the sources of actual amount of resources of people in the South. basically. But you know what I'm trying to get at. They control all the resource that went on by these slaves and profit off these slave remittance. They still trying to get us to think that from West Africa and Central Africa. But notice they did not say Eastern African, North African, and South African. What about East African? What about South African? They don't mention East African. They don't mention North. They don't mention the East. They always mention the West. Why is that? Because they're trying to say the British or the French brought the blacks here to make money off of European labor or African or slave labor, what is. But I'm going to get on the origin about slavery and what it means, because they never tell us this. They should have, because they know the truth. It is now the celebration in Adelolo on the 19th of June throughout in the United States, with the value official recognized, especially it's the commemorate Union Army General Geraldine Grant announced the federal order in Galveston, Texas, on June the 19th, 1865, to reclaim that all slaves reclaim that all slaves in Texas are free. So let me get this straight. You're saying only Texas, right, is free. They no longer work with somebody else. They can start working for themselves. See, you see this is a game here. President Abraham Lincoln, the men that occupation prefer claim have officially outlawed the slavery in Texas and other states that rebel against the Union. Also, 2.5 years early, Texas been the most remote of the slave states that has a lower presence of the Union troops after the American Civil War. I heard that too many times. Have ended through the enforced. Those has been slow and inconsistent before aggressive pronounced. All through Juneteenth is Juneteenth is commonly thought of as celebrating the end of slavery in the United States. It was still legal and practiced in 2 Union border states until December the 6th, 1865. I'm going to show you this in a minute. You know what I'm thinking. If anybody don't know what I'm thinking, I'm going to show you what I was thinking. But those that do, y'all know. But the ones that don't know, I'm going to show you. Because I could have sworn that's the day when the Ku Klux Klan was revealed. When the radical of the 13th Constitution, the 13th committed to the Constitution, to the abolish of non-penal slavery nationwide. Celebrate the day to 1866. At the first involved, the church central community gathered in Texas. It spread across the South and become more commercialized in the 1920s and the 1930s. And often the center on a food festival during the civil rights movement of the 1960s. It escaped this by the struggles for post-war civil rights, but grow in a popular again in the 1970s with the focus on African American freedom and the arts by the 21st century. Juneteenth was celebrated in most major cities across the United States. The activists are campaigning for the United States Congress to recognize June the 19th as a national holiday. Hawaii, North Dakota, and South Dakota are the only states that do not recognize June the 19th. Why not? Are you trying to say that black people are not Native American? You know what? I'm not even going to get into it. Let's just say it like this. Rest in peace to Old Dirty Bastard. Yeah, look him up because Old Dirty was 100% Cherokee Indian. He said this. And I'm going to say this to Akon, fuck you. You got a lot of nerve to trying to say that black people did not build the United States. How dare you say that? You know you're not right for that. I guess you never heard of Old Dirty Bastard from the Wu-Tang Clan. I bet you don't know about him, do you? I know you do. But you ain't going to talk about that, would you? And you supposed to be a synagogue from Africa, but yet from Eastern Africa, whatever. You don't want to talk about that. And you doing a music with Kasi 69 asshole ass motherfucker? Are you serious? That's like you know he's all about the money. Because if he don't do it, it will be in his career. If he don't do it, his career won't be in to stay relevant. He ain't gonna stay relevant no more to keep up with the times. He should have said no. But you talking about, oh, he just young. He would not do that in Mexico. He'd be dead in 2 seconds. By the drug cartels, don't get me started. Come on. They killed Toker and they killed a famous YouTuber in Mexico. Matter of fact, they killed Malcolm X's grandson. See, that's blood on their hands. They should have never done that. That became a conflict between the Mexicans and blacks. And I hated that goddamn gangbanging culture and the imprisonment shit. That's what started it. Then everyone else. Y'all know those pro-blacks don't give a damn about the black community. Y'all know that. You think that the white supremacists care about white community? Get real. They don't care. Just watch how you turn on them and see what happens. Oh, they got something for you. If you don't agree of their belief, they'll look at you like something is wrong. Because you know you onto their bullshit. Anyway, look up Old Dirty Bastard. Old Dirty Bastard was a quarter Cherokee Indian. He'd been out of New York since it was no Manhattan at first. It was just enough of a force of America. Go look it up. His grandfather was part of the history what made Manhattan what it is today. He's on the history books. Nobody wants to talk about Old Dirty Bastard. Rest in peace to Old Dirty, man, because that dude was a quarter Cherokee Indian. And why would Dirty lie about that? I guess his mama lied to him about his heritage. His mama told him who he is. And his father too. But mostly you got to get through the mother before the father. But y'all won't talk about Dirty Bastard. Oh, fuck no. You won't say a word. They've been out there since it wasn't no Manhattan. They've been out in New York all their lives. Shout out to Cherokee Indian Native American folks because this is for you. They know we're not Africans. Akon know the truth. Watch the show called The Roots, where they were showing when they brought other blacks in, it was already blacks once they brought other blacks in, it was already blacks over here. It was already there. It's like they've been out there for years. Don't let these people fool you. The only people that know who you are is God and your family. Stop listening to these idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. But y'all let these so-called men come up to you and tell you who you is. You got a lot of nerve, but they don't know who they are. Anyway, according to the Congressman Research Service of the 17 states that do acknowledgement June the 10th in one way or another, Texas, Virginia, and New York. So let me get this straight. You're trying to say the blacks in New York are not 100% Cherokee Indian. Never mind. And they know they're Native Americans and blacks intermingle and have sex. But anyway, that's another time. Pennsylvania are the only ones recognized as an official paid holiday for state employees. Yep. Let me say it again. Texas, Virginia, New York, and Pennsylvania. They're the only ones. Because everybody knows Pennsylvania, especially they're predominantly black. So is New York. So is Virginia. That's where the Clips is from Pharrell and all them and Taylor Riley. And also Texas. Anyway, The modern absurd is primarily in a local celebration tradition, including public reading of the minute after Patriot proclaims, singing tradition songs as Sweet Low, Sweet Chariot, and Lift Every Voice and Sing, and reading of the works by the notice of African American writers, much as Ralph Ellison and Melanie Angelo, rest in peace. Celebrate, including the rodeo, street fairs, cookouts, family reunion, and park parties, history reasons, and the Mrs. Juneteenth Passion, and the Mexican Skunk Code, and descendants of black Eskimo who escaped from the U.S. slavery in 1852 and settled in Guadalajara and Mexico, and also celebrate June the 10th. Yeah, but let me say this. You're trying to say that Abraham Lincoln freed black people. Now, I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he not. But I heard that he didn't free black people. He was going to ship them back to Africa, going back to the quote-unquote the motherland, the birth of all humanity altogether for all combined. Now, I can't say about that because only thing I can tell you this, he's no longer remained here at the presence. But why I'm showing the Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux Klan was birthed on December 24, 1865. That's the year apart. And that's in Perisking, Tennessee. The word Confederate and the son of Malta. When they talk about Malta, you know they're direct descendants from the Knight Templars. And why I say that? Because those Ku Klux Klan, they sure got those goddamn costumes, Halloween wardrobes that they wearing. They wearing the white and the red. And you can't tell me those colors do not flying colors of England and Switzerland. Why Switzerland? Because Switzerland at that time, it was a country was created because they was trying to fight the Scottish rights of freedom when they invaded by the British. They went to war with each other. So how come we don't know much about it? We don't know much about it because we think, and I'm going to say this, all white supremacy is about that white people believe that they came from quote-unquote Aryan race and they come from a lost continent called Atlantis. Yeah, for all you ATL people, how y'all know that the word ATL is another word of Atlantis? Atlantis is just another word Atlantis. From the North Dakota, the North Pacific, the South Pacific, between the North Pole, the South Pole. That's all it is. Canada is part of America, if you ask me, but even though it's part of French, then you look at the British, they're part of, the goddamn America. That's between North and South, divided the South, and then the Spanish in the middle. Are you kidding me? All white supremacy is they want to build a world as a utopia. That means they want to live in a world that everything is all good, all dandy, and nothing violence, nothing more. I don't know what they believe. They'll believe anything wherever the fuck I care. And I'm going to tell you something else. To take the inspiration from D.W. Griffin, 1915 silent movie, The Birth of the Fucking Nation. All Birth was a Nation was about how the Confederate and the Union, they were accusing the Northern Union was falsely accused of raping a white woman. That was about. And she was no longer to stay pure and stay committed to her people, so she started to commit it to other people and no longer committed to her people. That's all that was about. And look at this. Don't it look like the Knight Templars flying colors? With the red pattern on the white background and the white pattern in the red background. Y'all better look this stuff up because they never going to tell you this. They'll never. How come the civil rights don't tell me about this? Did you know the Freemasons connected with the Ku Klux Klan? Yeah. And this explains why the police got away with the shit they did. Yeah. It's like joining with the goddamn mob. Yeah. If you talk, we're going to do something to you. Yeah, I heard the stories. I heard it all. I heard it all from black men got their dick cut off. I heard it all. I heard it all. They put black babies in the alligator swamps. I heard it all. But we don't know if those are factuated or just something they made up. Now that Emmett Till thing, but there's something question about that. Did you know there were black volunteers that helped white racists to kill this black boy? Oh yeah, that's gonna hurt you. You were like, oh, our people wouldn't do that. You never know. Just like white people get black people to hurt their people. Y'all better wake the fuck up. They want this stuff to happen. And you know who's gonna laugh at? These elites. They're laughing at you and show you how stupid you is as a white man, as a black man, because y'all refuse to join forces. They want to destroy both of y'all. That's what they want. And you can sit back and be arrogant and say, oh, I don't want to work with that white man, and that white man like, I don't want to work with that black man either. They're going to destroy both of y'all as long as they tearing y'all apart. They don't give a fuck about the white race. They damn sure don't give a fuck about the black race. They don't give a fuck about nobody but the mighty dollar bill. That's all they cared about. And I'm going to say this. Fuck June 10th. Yeah, I said it. Because they got our people running around thinking that they're slaves. But they don't even know the fucking origin of the fucking term slavery. That came from the Slavic people. From the Eastern Europe and the Central Europe. They never tell you that. Ask Dr. Umar Johnson if it's true. Ask Dr. Boyd Watkins if it's true. Ask the goddamn all these other black folk. They know they got white blood in them, but yet they don't want to claim it. Oh, I ain't got no white family in me. What you talking about? You just like these white racists. They're running around saying they don't have black relatives. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. This shit needs to stop. It really do. These elites profit out of people's misery. And why we don't see that? I just found this out now where they're going to use tracking device on your fucking phone. Yeah. They put tracking device on your fucking phone to see if you got the COVID-19. Yeah. No wonder my brother told me that every time he go to North Dallas, his internet access cut off. But when he go back over there in Oak Cliff, his internet access is on. See, they control what's on the television. They control what's on the radio. They control everything you do. If it wasn't for the sponsors, not just the sponsors, the consumer buyers. Without y'all wouldn't have shit. You make them rich out of their pocket. They ain't helping you making rich. How come they can't get off their ass and do the work? Because you helping them doing the work for you. So there you go. If you don't believe me, all this is just a actual suicide, not suicide, but also a falsing plot of people's misery and miseries of humanity. Go look this up. The terminologies. The word slavery is derived from the initial of ethnicity name Slav. S-L-A-V. Slav. Or Slavis. Of old French word. And who the Slav people? It's those people right there. And where's the origins that comes from that? Did you also know what it means? It means strip a state of enemy, but it also means to, speaking of glory of their country, they trying to be glory of the victory of the land. They trying to fight and to protect the invaders for they won't invade it to protect for they won't invade and try to take over their lands. That was about. But we should have known this one. We should have known this. There's no excuse that we don't know it. And also it means fame. For all you video gamers, did you know the word slavery? It's just another word for when you say Slav, it's another word for Kratos. Yeah, half of y'all don't know that, do you? The church was built by not only by the Ku Klux Klan, it was also created by the Knight Templars. They direct descendants from descendants kids of the modern day Christians militaries. Yeah, we related to white people. Black people are related to white people for all different nationality of whites. How come we don't know that? And some of them are related to us. I want to know, do Africans know that? I bet you they know that. They just kept their mouth shut and keep it moving. They don't question it. For all you educated black women, do you know about this too? Because y'all love to brag about y'all more educated than black men. You're only saying that because some nigga did you wrong. That's why you're saying it. You don't mean what you said. You're saying it because you're angry and you're pissed off. Stop messing with those men if you know they ain't meant nothing to you. But you'll fuck them any damn way. And that goes to any other woman. And guys are the problem the same way. If you don't like how these women are, don't deal with them. Just get you a female who have her head together. If she don't have to get together, leave her ass alone. Quit filling her head. Because this is what's going on. And then maybe these women can stop filling these men head. They never tell her this. And I'm going to tell you something. The people who runs this system, they're going to pay for this. They're going to pay for this. Every single dime. They don't want this truth to come out. I'm telling you, they do not want this truth to come out. And they will do everything they can to keep us to where we are now. Ignorant and confused, and also just ignorant and confused, and just not only ignorant and confused, but also de-illusionize us. It's profit. And now they're saying that Muslim Slavics. You see that shit? Muslim Slavics that follow Islam from Serbia and Bulgaria, whatever you want to call it. Come on, man. They're white Muslims. It's funny how these white brothers and sisters saying they hate Muslims, but yet there are white Muslims. There are white Christians. Just like there are black Christian and black Muslim. You ever went to Philly? Yeah. There's 90% of them are Muslims and more than Christians. Come on. Meek Mill could be a Muslim if he wanted to. He from Philadelphia, North Philly. Anyway, I'm done with this because fuck this June 10th. It's just a made-up holiday from these people to keep us the way we are, and we're going to keep on blaming white people as usual. Same thing white people like to blame blacks for every damn thing. What made America is this devastation. You know damn well we didn't terrorize those goddamn communities. It was Asians, whites, Latinos. There's some blacks, but everybody else know they ain't going to tear up their community. And not just blacks, but everyone else. How come we don't know about this stuff? How come we don't know about the Knight Templars? How come we don't know nothing about the slavery came from the Slavic people? They were the original slaves. They'll never pick the white slavery in Hollywood movies. Because they know the majority of whites don't want to see that. How they reflect towards themselves what the shit they went through. They got books called White Gold about how the Moors slaving white people. Yeah, the black Moors. Yeah, but there's no evidence to prove that claim. But it's also slavery means to strip or stain an enemy. When you strip a person, you stain them as an enemy. You want to put a mark and harm on them and put them to death. I'm sick of this crap, this shit they like to say. We better wake the fuck up and understand we're all being manipulated. And fuck this COVID-19, because I really believe that COVID-19 is used as a, I hate to say this, but it's nothing but a population population control. It's used as a global population control because there's too many people in the planet and they have to get rid of some people. Yeah, y'all better look at Georgia Stone. Y'all better look at the Denver Colorado airport. If you think I'm lying to you, they already plans this up. Most of y'all gonna say I'm conspiracy nut and all that. Yeah. If I'm conspiracy nut, then this shit is all in our face. And we allow to anticipate this stuff is happening. But guess what? Before I wrap this up, before I go, I have other things to do. Read this. Read this when they think of slavery. Rather than a slave should be used when describe the victims of slavery. According to those pronounce a change in terminology. Slave predicate the crime of slavery in language. By to reduct its victims to a non-human and non-include of carry them forward as a people and not the property that they are. I'm going to say it once, I'm going to say it again. It says this: carry them forward as a people, but not the property as they are. So, in other words, you want them to do all the work for you, that you too lazy to do work for yourself. They want to own you, because without you, you would not make this system for what it is now. It's so evil. It got to the point, these people are crazy. They're going out here talking about, oh, the Black Lives Matter, the Blue Lives Matter, the white lives, gay lives. No, that's not it. Not Asian, not Latinos. The only thing that matters in this country that matterizes people is green. That's what it's about. And y'all better get the head of y'all ass before it's too late. And that's all I got discussion about it. Let's be free to our minds, and not just in free of mentally, but physically and emotionally. And we won't be in this thing anymore. And then we can see things clear, and we can finally get the real freedom that we deserve, to free of anything, and free of life, free of choice, and free of humanity. That's all. I love you all, black or white, but I just keep it the truth. What I have to speak, what I speak of. That's all. It's your boy, Domination. This is Back of the Basic. Chugga the Deuces out text, baby. Until next time, all right? All right. Peace, I'm out. All right. Peace.